You are the best thing in my life. Sunny days and starry nights that never end. You make me laugh, you make me cry, you make me come alive. I'll come alive again. I'll come alive. I'll come alive again.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to my 6th episode of Celeste's Quest for Her Best Life. Today's episode is all about the beautiful murals of my town here in Oceanside. So I took a little driving trip with my wife down the Coast Highway 101 that goes straight through our coastal town here from south to north, and I tried to stop and look at all the murals along the way. I might have missed one or two because I didn't make it over to the harbor. There's a couple of murals over in that area, and then there's a few off hidden on side streets and behind buildings. I got one part of Artist Alley, but there's still a few more that were missing from my project. But I tried to get there were so many, and I was losing light because that darn sun just goes away at 4:30. So anyway, the history of murals is really important. I love when I drive through any town, whether it's here in the United States or when I'm traveling, and I see art being brought to the forefront of that community, whether you see it on buildings or you see sculptures or you see parks that have been adorned with different art. It means that that community has really embraced arts. Fortunately, here in Oceanside, we have the Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation. And in fact, my wife is an artist, a local artist, and she was commissioned last year in September to paint a piano for our city. The Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation teamed up with this group called the Piano Project, and what they do is find unwanted pianos that are still in great working condition, and they restore them, get them all tuned up, and then they donate these pianos to schools and senior centers and places that might not have access to a piano. And while doing that, they also decided to pair up with an artist and have a local artist paint one of these pianos and then display it in town to let people play publicly. So originally that was the idea, is to put the piano on display at various locations around Oceanside, downtown. However, two things have prevented this from happening. One large one being COVID, because they don't want people touching things. As you can imagine, they're dirty. Get your little grubby little fingers off the piano. But also it ended up going to the Oceanside Museum of Art, which is an incredible museum. If you ever do come around Oceanside, or if you live here and you have not seen the Oceanside Museum of Art, be sure to put it on your list of things to do. They do change out the art and the different displays that they have regularly several times throughout the year. And usually they get some really big names and some really great art in there, which is why it's so amazing that my wife's piano has pretty much found a permanent home there. I don't know about the future, but it has spent the entire year of 2020 in that museum. When it first started out, it went to the Sunshine Brooks Theater, where it was played by this famous British pianist named Henry. So that is why the piano has been named Henry. So if you ever get to see Henry downtown in Oceanside, that was painted by Renee Cosby, who I am so lucky to be married to. But we both love art. We love watching the arts grow. I moved to Oceanside 15 years ago in 2005, and I don't remember seeing a lot of murals. There were some old murals that you would see on some of the buildings, but I really saw a huge surge of new murals and art along Coast Highway in the last, I would say 5 years, probably about 2015, maybe as early as 2010, we started seeing some of these murals pop up, but they change out because we have so much sunshine too, so they get faded kind of quickly. So I've seen a lot of murals come and go. Some I really loved, and I was really sad when they covered it up or we had to redo the building. There was one that had a brilliant sunset on the Swami's building now, which before Swami's was there, and because Swami's had to build all these windows and roll up doors and things like that, they ended up taking that mural down, but it was a really neat piece. So when you see the murals, you have to enjoy them while they're there because you never know how long they're going to last. There used to be a diner on Coast Highway called Jenny's, and it had some really cool art on it as well, with like this dish running away with a spoon and some other kind of fun nursery rhyme related artwork. But the art here I find is very diverse. It is not just the same kinds of murals that you see up and down Coast Highway, but they're very unique by an array of different artists. So I hope you enjoy the little drive downtown that I took and a little closer look at each of the murals that we found. And just to give you a little bit of history, murals have been found in nearly every culture and every civilization dating back 30,000 years. Yes, 30,000 years. There are murals that date back that far in France and in some of the caves of France. And there are also murals, of course, everybody knows about the murals of the Minoan people and the Egyptian people, and a lot of the northern African regions, some of the birthplace of humanity, as they sometimes call it. But you'll find murals all over the entire world in indigenous cultures throughout the Americas also had different kinds of murals, as well as the Aboriginal indigenous cultures. They have murals as well. So it is such an amazing thing that has lasted for centuries and defines each generation. Of course, the ones that are in caves will last longer than the ones on our buildings, but it's just a really great thing to see. And I think the murals kind of help define a community at that time and place that the mural is made. So when you look around a town and you look at the murals, it gives you a good key indicator about what kind of community at least they want to be perceived as. So around this community, you will see a lot of ocean related murals because we are on the beach. We are Oceanside, quite literally. So you'll see a lot of like pelicans, and our pier is pretty iconic, so our pier has been utilized in numerous murals. And there's not only the murals that you see on the street, but in a lot of the businesses, you just have to walk inside and their murals are in the lobbies, on the walls, in the restaurants. So murals are both inside and outside. I hope you enjoy this entire special about the murals. I call it Art on the 101. So I decided to give you a mural tour traveling north on Coast Highway 101 from Carlsbad. As soon as you cross the Buena Vista Lagoon coming from Carlsbad, you are greeted by this mural on the left side of the street, facing the lagoon on the side of Angelo's Burgers, with a very fitting and iconic California surfer. I have to say, this is one of my favorite murals in town. I don't know much about it, but I have gone to a sound healing at this community yoga space, which is an amazing space, and they do offer private sound healings. And the owner told me her son painted this, but I think it's absolutely stunning. I wanted to give this piece a special mention because I knew one of the artists. This mural was a collaboration done with our now departed local resident, Michael C. Gross. He passed in 2015 because of cancer. Although Michael had a wonderful career as an American artist, designer, and film producer, he is known for his work as the art director for the National Lampoon from 1970 to 1974, and perhaps most remembered for designing the logo for the original movie Ghostbusters. I see a little nod to Slimer here, don't you? Welcome to Cafe 101. This is the oldest cafe on the historic Highway 101, appropriately named Cafe 101. They have done a lot to try to preserve this truly historic spot for hungry road trippers, surfers, tourists, and business folks traveling on the 101, and also, of course, us locals. The highway itself actually dates back to its commission date of 1926, and originally would take you all the way from the San Diego border of Mexico all the way north to Olympia, Washington. This diner, Cafe 101, has been open dating back to 1928. Keeping a 1950s throwback vibe, clearly depicted in the recently revived mural on the south side of the diner, this place was a trailer park and a favorite hotspot of many of the Camp Pendleton Marines. Cafe 101 is one of the most iconic spots in our little beach town. Although there are no murals to show here at Linksoul, I felt it was worth mentioning that the building Linksoul has been an important multi-purpose space that often hosts artists, open mics, and events, although not very much in 2020, of course. Much of the work featured here has radical messages of tolerance, equality, love, and recognizing that art makes powerful statements about society. Earlier this year, this space was vandalized for displaying messages in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, but community members, including myself, were quick to offer support for the repairs needed. Having this space is important to our community. According to their website, Hill Street Country Club is a nonprofit art organization passionate about fostering arts and culture in Oceanside. Welcome to Oceanside's own Artist Alley. Pre-COVID, this was a vibrant hotspot for First Fridays for the Art Walk, where artists, artisans, and crafters of all kinds would display their work for eager buyers looking to support local artists. Musicians, like myself, would also perform here. Although the future of Artist Alley is unclear with COVID having prevented regular events, there are still many beautiful, unique murals done by locals adorning every nook and cranny of this small back alley that runs parallel to Highway 101. Also, several eclectic shops remain open inside the alley, including Gypsy Soul Dreaming Metaphysical Store and Ikigai Artifacts Jewelry. In 2017, Main Street Oceanside, an organization that tries to help unite and promote businesses in downtown Oceanside, located north of Wisconsin Street where we saw Cafe 101, and south of Surfrider, launched the Oceanside Mural Initiative to promote more beautiful art in the downtown area while giving opportunities to local artists and allowing community participation through a vote. This mural was the winner selected by locals with over 1,500 votes. It adorns the south-facing wall of the beloved Star Theater. It was created and completed by artist Sky Walker and is entitled "The Beauty of the Sea Will Always Be With Me." The Oceanside Mural Initiative has since been renamed Art That Excites. Other projects have been completed around town, but several have had to be put on hold in 2020. Well, you know why. I want to give a special shout out here to my friend and artist WB and his talented wife Cynthia of Cynthia's Artistic Expressions. Not on Highway 101, but located just up the street at 713 Mission Avenue. This is where you'll find this badass shark mural that was completed by WB only this year as a gift to the community. Be sure to watch my 5th episode of Celeste's quest for her best life, my Attitude of Gratitude Thanksgiving special, to watch this happy, loving couple share what they are grateful for in 2020. Not only do they host fun paint parties here, we had one for our niece last year, but this is also a gallery and event space. They also can host paint parties at any desired location. Cynthia and WB are U.S. Navy veterans who have dedicated themselves to serving the greater community with an emphasis on therapeutic art healing for vets and active duty service members. This is the highly acclaimed and pride of Oceanside, the Oceanside Museum of Art, also called OMA. OMA began as a vision held by some Oceanside locals who worked for 8 years to finally start exhibiting in 1995. OMA landed at the current location in 1997 and in 2008 completed a total 15,000 square foot, 3-story contemporary expansion and full renovation. Their mission statement is to celebrate art through engagement, education, and innovation, and their vision is to be an accredited, sustainable, and nationally acclaimed gathering place to celebrate the inspiring and transformative power of arts and culture. And I have to say, on a personal note, I've been to some really fun parties here. There's always a debate about what makes a person a local. I don't think it has to do with being born and raised in a community, but it's about loving the community you live in. And I'm so lucky and happy to have been in Oceanside for the past 15 years, and I hope to see Oceanside continue to thrive for music and arts and everyone who lives here.
Night falls on the briny deep, and the moon becomes a blazing torch. I will rise up when the world's asleep. I will come ashore. Feel my power drawing near from the bottom of the sea. I'll wash away all your doubts and fears and carry you away with me. Tidal wave, my love is like a tidal wave. Sins of the past, heartaches you had, I'll bury in the sand. Your love will change. Tidal wave, my love is like a tidal wave. a tidal wave. Sins of the past